At 1 o'clock in the morning, a police officer stands in a cramped living room. The lights are low. A mother grips the arm of a sofa tightly. 2 kids are wide-eyed, watching the corner of the room. And then, right in front of the officer, an empty armchair starts to wobble. Not a little tremble like someone bumped it. A slow, deliberate wobble. And then it slides across the floor by itself. The officer freezes. Nobody speaks. This stops being a crazy family call. This becomes a police report that will haunt paranormal research. If it was fake, why did a uniformed officer file paperwork? And if it was real, why did investigators catch the kids faking phenomena? Stay with me, because the Enfield Poltergeist will show you something disturbing. What happens when nobody can agree on what real means anymore? Single mother Peggy Hodgson is raising 4 kids on basically no money. Her husband walked out. She's doing shift work. The bills are piling up. The last thing she needs is her house trying to kill her. But that's exactly what starts happening. August 30th, 11 o'clock p.m. Her 2 daughters, Margaret, 13, and Janet, 11, hear knocking sounds coming from the wall, loud enough to wake them up. Shuffle, thud. She tells them to shut up and go to sleep. The knocking continues. Now Peggy's annoyed. She assumes it's the neighbors. She tells them to keep it down. The neighbors stare at her. They haven't heard anything. Their TV isn't even on. Peggy goes back inside. The knocking starts again, immediately. And here's where it gets weird. When Peggy yells, "Stop it," it stops, like something just learned how to mess with her. Now, if you're thinking, okay, clearly the kids are screwing with her, hold that thought, because you're right. That's exactly what everyone thought at first, by itself. No earthquake, no vibration, just movement. Peggy tries to push it back. It resists, like something is holding it, and that's the moment she calls the police. Now stop and think. Peggy is a working-class single mother in 1977 Britain. You don't call the cops to your council house unless something is wrong. It invites questions. It invites judgment. It gets the neighbors talking, but she's scared enough to do it anyway. Because whatever is happening, flashlight in hand, family behind her. The chair wobbles, then slides. Now ask yourself, if she'd been fooled, if she'd figured out later it was a trick, wouldn't she have said so? Wouldn't she have wanted to correct the record? Then the Daily Mirror, then BBC Radio. And once the media gets involved, everything changes. The house stops being a home and becomes a set. Neighbors start showing up to just take a look. Friends of friends want to see. And here's where things get psychologically nasty. When you put a frightened child in front of an audience, not because they're evil, because they're human, because attention, especially when you've never had it before, can feel like power. Guy Lyon Playfair, members of the Society for Psychical Research. These are academics, researchers, people who care about documentation, taking notes, conducting interviews. And suddenly, the Enfield Poltergeist has something. They had a financial stake in this being real. Gross's daughter died recently. They explained it away. The poltergeist makes them do it, they said. The energy uses the children as conduits, they said, which is a very convenient way to never have to admit you might be wrong. Because moving objects can be faked. Doors can be slammed. Marbles can be thrown. The voice claims to be Bill. Bill Wilkins, a man who died in the house. And Bill is angry. He swears. He threatens. He mocks the investigators. Some of those experts say that's not normal. A child shouldn't be able to produce that sound, which sounds compelling. Until you learn that other experts said the entity was losing control of her, not she's faking it. Even hardcore skeptics struggle to explain away. 1. The Lego brick incident. Gross is sitting in the living room with Janet. It hits him in the head. He's watching her the entire time. Nobody heard anything. Nobody saw it happen. Investigators can't replicate the bend, which is kind of impressive in its own way. And here's what skeptics point to as proof of fraud. He said it was basic false vocal fold technique, something anyone can learn. It's not cleanly fake. It's not cleanly real. It's this tangled mess of phenomena. Let me paint you a picture of what life was like inside that house. They've been questioned for hours. They're scared. They're wired. They haven't had a normal night's sleep in weeks. And then a knock comes from the wall. Bang. Everyone freezes. Bang. Bang. Somebody whispers, "Ask it something." Gross leans forward. "If you can hear me, knock once for yes, twice for no. Are you the spirit of Bill Wilkins?" Bang. And in that moment, everyone feels it. Because humans are wired to find patterns. We're wired to believe in presence. That same system, knock once for yes, twice for no, is hilariously easy to fake. And if everyone in the room desperately wants it to be real, they'll ignore the obvious explanation when she thinks nobody's watching. Another time, she's caught hiding a tape recorder, playing Bill's voice through it. A BBC cameraman films her deliberately knocking on the wall, and that's what skeptics hang their entire argument on. She faked some of it, so she faked all of it. There are events that happened when she was asleep, so either A, she's the greatest child magician in history, C, some of it was real, and she only faked stuff later to keep the attention going. The reporters move on to the next story. The neighbors stop whispering. Fast forward to 2003. A reporter tracks down Janet, now an adult with kids of her own. They ask her the question everyone wants answered. Was any of it real? Whether the chair moved by itself or not, something happened in that house. It gives you a police report with an officer's signature. It gives you audio recordings. It gives you photographs of furniture in places it wasn't before. And it gives you the uncomfortable truth that sometimes belief and deception aren't opposites. Because somewhere in Enfield, in that cramped living room in 1977, an empty chair moved.